Hey you guys! So today's video is going to be all about 5 things beauty gurus do that everybody hates. But not only the 5 things that they do, but some reasons for why they do them. The inspiration for this video kind of came from a crappy comment section that I got in a video not too long ago, and I thought about a lot of the comments that I get on a regular basis. And while I do understand some of the complaints that viewers might have on a beauty guru's video, I would like to kind of explain to you guys some of the reasons that these things might be happening, and at the very least it might kind of help you enjoy watching a video again if you at least know why some of this stuff is being done. All of this is going to come down to a case-by-case basis. Not all beauty gurus are created the same, and not all viewers are created the same, but I want this video to help you and also give me a chance to state my case and maybe the case of other gurus on the platform as well. So a couple things before we get started. I look super tan right now. That's mostly because I am in a different setup. You guys know I've been messing with it lately. I had to get rid of the window setup that I was using before because it just wasn't working. Like today it's cloudy, so I wouldn't have been able to film if I was only going to rely on natural light. I am still using a few lights from my old setup. It's just that I think because I'm not against a big wall and there's not light bouncing right back towards the camera and it's just fixated on me, it is showing what my skin color actually is. Like in videos past, whether I tanned or not, you couldn't really tell, but I am freshly tanned and I look extra dark today. I won't look this dark after today because the tan will come off, blah blah blah. And as per the usual, my hands are tan as well. I get comments all the time where people are like, why don't you just use gloves? And it's like, obviously I use gloves. Obviously I use gloves. I use barrier cream when I tan, all of the things, but I sleep in my tan. So I think like I touch my face when I'm sleeping and it gets all over my hands. I don't know. Anyway, all that being said, if you guys are new here, my name is Whitney. My channel is all about consumerism, beauty budgets, getting the most out of our existing collection, unpacking messages from the beauty community and the beauty industry, and trying to figure out what, if anything, we can learn from them. If you're not new here, hey, what's up? How's your mama doing? A lot of you guys were saying you missed that intro, so I thought I would bring it back. Anyway, let's just get started. So I made that intro intentionally long for a reason, because the first thing beauty gurus do that everybody hates is long intros. I see complaints about this all the time, definitely not just on my channel, but I do see them. So I'm going to break down some of the things that happen in intros and explain to you guys why we do them. And the first one is why we make sure to say subscribe, like the video, check the social media platforms. We say that because studies have shown, metrics prove, that people are less likely to take any action around subscribing to your channel or thumbs upping your video or whatever if you don't remind them to do so. I get this a lot, and the thing is, you guys, there's not a whole lot that I don't do on my channel, I can only speak for myself, that isn't very intentional. My channel can only grow if you guys subscribe or if you thumbs up the videos. I know 9 times out of 10 when I watch a video personally, sometimes it takes a few videos for me to even remember to subscribe at all. So understand that while it might irritate you guys, if you enjoy the content that you're watching from anyone, it doesn't have to be just a beauty guru, anyone, they need subscribers. They need their channel to grow. They need the engagement. The algorithm for YouTube is very sophisticated. It does pay attention to likes and how many people subscribe during the duration of a given video. So all of that is extremely important in growing a channel. And for as long as there is free YouTube content, you guys might have to learn to tune it out if it bothers you a lot. Some people don't like when intros are long at all, and I get it. Personally, if I'm watching a video, especially if I'm looking for an answer to a very particular question, I rarely ever sit through the intro. But you guys, there is a fast forward button. All you have to do is tap your screen if you're watching it on mobile, and it immediately fast forwards the video, I think 30 seconds or 15 seconds, I can't remember which. But the reason that people might have longer intros on their videos, depending on what the video is, could possibly be, and I can only speak for myself, the biggest social media platform that I have is YouTube. We have 120,000 subscribers on my channel right now. And sometimes this is the only chance I get to speak to my largest social media platform. Tons of you guys are not on Instagram. Tons of you guys are not on Facebook. So the majority of my audience is here. So if I need to do some housekeeping or explain some things, this is when I get to do it, because metrics once again show that viewership retains a lot higher in the beginning of a video than the end of the video. And I can't stress it enough, you guys. If you don't like it, you're absolutely welcome to fast forward through it. You don't have to watch any part of a video you don't want to. I typically only want the information I came there for, and I'm gonna double tap my way. Isn't that what Tinder is? Double tapping? I'm gonna fast forward, tap, whatever. I'm not watching something I don't want to watch. You could easily do the same thing. Just something to consider. The number 2 thing that beauty gurus do that people hate is they do too many of the same looks. This is absolutely going to boil down to the individual guru in question, but not all beauty gurus have an interest in changing it up all the time, the same way real people don't have an interest in changing it up all the time. So I think it's important to keep in mind that much like real life, you just cannot expect to get everything from one person. It's kind of that age-old thing where someone thinks, for example, if they find a relationship or if they have a best friend or if they have a kid, that kid or that person in their life can be everything and give them everything. No one can do that for you. Neither can a little lowly beauty guru on the internet. In my opinion, you'd be better off having beauty gurus that suit different needs, if that makes any sense. Like maybe you have one that you watch because they do tons of tutorials and show different kinds of looks all the time. And maybe you have one that you go to just for reviews. And maybe you have one you go to just for full face of first impressions. Like most beauty gurus. Most beauty gurus have their own style. Like me personally, I don't know if I've ever been super adventurous with my makeup on camera, but that's because I just have the one face. I have this very, very specific types of makeup that flatter me and that I enjoy. And I understand that my viewers want variety, but at the same time, there's something to be said for the fact that any given content creator out there is just looking for their tribe. So it wouldn't behoove me to succumb to the pressure that I get sometimes to do avant-garde, colorful, glittery looks and things like that, because yeah, I might do it once or twice, get a few subscribers off of it, but inevitably I'm gonna go back to what I love, and the subscribers that I gained off of content that I don't enjoy making are gonna be left being like, what the F? You never do this stuff anymore. This comes down to also particular things that people want to see. And I'm just gonna give you guys an honest to God opinion. This video might come across sassy or like I'm being rude, and if you take it that way, I don't know what to tell you, I'm just being honest. I get a lot of questions from people who want to see me do looks like, they'll be like, can you please do a look without lashes? Can you please do a look without foundation? And the truth of the matter is, you guys can easily omit anything you don't want to do from a look that I or anyone else does. 9 times out of 10, when I do makeup looks, I tend to do a little more. Number one, I'm on camera. You know what I mean? I say to you guys all the time. YouTube and Instagram makeup looks different in real life than it does on camera, but unfortunately, this is the medium by which we show you our looks, and unfortunately, I'm not a videographer. Like, I'm still learning all the time how to correctly translate what I see in the mirror to what my camera sees. I'm a work in progress. But you guys, don't wait around for someone to create a look specific to your needs. Just learn how to omit things that you don't want or that aren't your taste. I say it all the time also that makeup is very hands-on. You got to get in there and play with it and get your hands dirty. Don't wait around for us. You guys are creative and intelligent and smart and beautiful, and you can bust out any look that you want. Take a little inspiration from us and then go run with it. You know what I'm saying? The number 3 thing that beauty gurus do, this is a hard beauty gurus do that everyone hates, is too many sponsored posts. The proverbial thorn in everybody's side. I agree 10,000% that there are certain influencers and gurus out there who are really heavy on the sponsored content, whether it's affiliate links or dedicated videos or product mentions or their own brand, whatever it is. I do know how annoying it is to feel like you're being sold to all the time. It's a big part of why I went on my 2019 no-buy, why I went on a huge social media purge and got rid of everyone that I felt like was doing that. But here's the thing you guys also have to keep in mind. We have to make money somehow. I mean, Everything about what it takes to create a YouTube channel costs money. My lights cost money. My camera costs money. My microphone costs money. The SD cards I record on cost money. The computer I edit on costs money. The editing software costs money. I pay about $150 a month in like app subscriptions that I use to edit and create additional content for my main content. I'm also taking classes online to help me improve my content. Like, it's an investment. And just to break even, like, we have to make some money. And AdSense is incredibly unreliable because the YouTube algorithm is so specific for what it favors. And it's very dependent on how well your content does. Like, sometimes I do a video that I'm like, this is going to be bangers, and nobody watches it. And that means I've lost out on ad revenue on that video. I personally started Patreon for this reason. I know a lot of people were giving me like shit for whatever reason, that because I had one. I felt like if I had Patreon, it would kind of supplement my AdSense revenue and put me in a position where I could count on something every month. And I personally do not take sponsored videos. I've done 2 all year, and they're at the beginning of the year back in like March, and I haven't done anything since. I've been offered many times, but that's just not the way I want to make money. I'm still figuring out how I'm going to do it, but everybody is different. And this ultimately comes down to choices, you guys. Once again, there are billions of Instagrammers and YouTubers. There's tons of content out there. If you feel like someone that you're watching gives you a bad feeling about the way they're making money, dip, man. I personally am not bothered by sponsored content from creators that I enjoy watching. That is the caveat here. And that is something you should strive to find. If you find creators who you want to see continue to create and post, you gotta be okay with the fact that maybe they're gonna drop a promotion code, or maybe they're gonna drop some sort of dedicated video here and there. And once again, this is about choices. You get to decide how much of that you're willing to tolerate. Constructive criticism, I'm very tongue-tied today, is crucial, of course. Like, if you think that communicating with your favorite beauty guru that, hey, you've been going a little hamburgers with the sponsored content might sway their decision a little bit, then I guess go ahead. But the truth of the matter is, people are always going to do exactly what they want to do. I know me personally, like 150 people could get in the comment section right now and be like, shut down Patreon. I'm not going to. I'm not. Because that's what I want to do. I get that sponsored content is not fun all the time. I totally understand that. I think that creators probably need to come up with more innovative ways to implement sponsored content into their platforms, make them a little more organic and realistic. Nobody likes commercials. It's 2019. I don't know anybody who sits through a commercial willingly anymore, and nobody wants one sprung on them when they're trying to like learn something or just chill and watch a YouTube video. I get it. I can't stress it enough. But once again, final thought on this. You have to decide if this particular content creator is someone that you want to you have to decide if the content creator you are watching is someone that you would like to see continue to grow. Got it. Because they need money to do it. I mean, yeah, we know people get a lot of money and then they change. We'll get to that point in a minute. For the most part, with any content that you are consuming, I would take pretty much everything you hear from us with a grain of salt, because you just don't know us. You don't know the true motivations of why we're doing what we're doing, or how it plays into a big picture plan that we might have. Everything I do or say on my channel is in my best interest. It's getting me to something that I want. It's spreading a message that I care about. You can't live by anything that we say, because one way or the other, we're kind of in this for us. Just like the decisions that you make around your job and your career are for you. And if they're not, I certainly hope they are, because ain't nobody going to secure your bag but you. Obviously, it goes without saying that nobody has to lie, cheat, or steal to get where they want to be in life. I'm not suggesting that whatsoever. But as I said earlier in this point, this is about choices. You guys choose what content you consume. You guys are choosing who the top dogs on any given platform are. and you can choose not to support them anytime you wish. The number 4 thing that beauty gurus do, why can't I say this? The number 4 thing that beauty gurus do is that guru do thing. It's like a lot of vowels in my mouth don't work together. Anyway, the number 4 point is that beauty gurus spread a lot of incorrect or wrong information. This point is hard for several reasons because, once again, all of this is going to come down to the very specific guru in question. Everyone's different. Everyone has different motivations for saying what they say. Everyone has a different level of fact checking that they do before they say something. But a lot of people get really up in their feelings when they feel like a beauty guru or an influencer or a content creator, whatever, has misled them or is misleading their audience. And sometimes, yes, absolutely, without question, there are beauty gurus and influencers and creators out there who are kind of intentionally misrepresenting facts in order to get some sort of benefit from that. There are also tons of YouTubers out there who are disseminating information to subscribers and probably think what they're saying is true and they just don't know any better. The thing with being a YouTuber, I can speak for myself specifically, in a lot of ways, this is sometimes closed communication because I filmed this video. Today is Tuesday and I'm going to put this up on Wednesday. Now, every time I make a video, I have notes and thoughts, and if I cite resources or I cite studies, they are ones I've seen with my own eyes. Like, I do my best, but I'm not perfect, and sometimes I forget to mention things, or sometimes I forget to expand upon certain points, and there will inevitably be someone down there telling me that that was done with malice of intent. And sometimes it's just that I didn't think about that. You know, I don't get to post a YouTube video and then come back after someone makes a point and then expand on said point to make sure that my message is as concise as possible. A lot of S's in that sentence. But yeah, that's something that happens a lot. And once again, this is going to come down to the individual person. You know, at the end of the day, just by common sense, if what someone says is intentionally misleading or they're just a little ignorant. Now, one might argue that it's extremely irresponsible to get on camera to hundreds of thousands of millions of subscribers and talk when you don't know what you're talking about. But here's the thing, not everyone can be an expert on everything they speak on all the time, like a true blue bona fide expert all the time about everything. And I don't think we should encourage that anyway, because the world would be so quiet and boring if only the experts were allowed to speak on things. Sometimes, like in my case, I'm sharing with you what I'm currently learning. This is what I'm learning right now. This is what I'm going through now. I'm not done learning about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people are very fallible. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to screw up. On top of that, there are many, many times that some people will like to get down in my comment section and give me what for when they are the ones who have no idea what they're talking about, but they're so quick to get down there and write like a 7-paragraph dissertation about why I'm lying to people and why I'm shady and this, that, and the third, when it's just evident that they themselves are incorrect in their assessment of what I said. But once again, I can't go back. I can't have a conversation with you about what I said anymore because I said it and it's in a video and now it's like 3 weeks later. My thing with people like that, if you find yourself policing and patrolling social media to find errors or mistakes in what people say, and you have the time and energy to write lengthy explanations about why they're incorrect, I would suggest that you go find a hobby or something else to do or start your own channel, because clearly you know a lot about the subject and you got a lot of creativity and you got a lot of power in your words. You're willing to dedicate time to disseminating information. So why don't you go out there and do something with it? That's just my personal opinion. Once again, I'm not suggesting that there's no room for constructive criticism or that we shouldn't be able to have a dialogue back and forth. But you know, this kind of aggressive, unnecessarily antagonistic comment structure from a viewer when you see it. And I don't think it helps anybody, honestly. The number 5 thing that beauty gurus do that people hate is they change. this is the one that if you have been on social media for any length of time at all, you will hear it. And I've never really heard it said to me personally as a positive thing. Anytime someone has told me that I've changed, they do not mean it in a good way. Even if I personally feel like the changes that I have made in myself are great and I worked really hard and I was very intentional about making those changes, some people just flat out don't want to see it change. This is definitely not just for social media. This is true in like most facets of entertainment. Bands, for example. You ever find a band and like those first 2 albums are just, they're hitting it hard. You love them so much. It's just amazing. And then they drop that 3rd album and it's a completely different sound. And you're like, what in Sam hell is this? It's because the band, either through pressure from the label or in an attempt to garner a larger audience or to go more commercial, or maybe they just changed. Maybe they just want to try something new. Like everybody changes. Everything changes over time, hopefully. And the question becomes, are you willing to go along for the ride as this person goes through the changes that they're going through? And that's true with people you know in your real life. I'm going to keep bringing it back to real life because that is the thing I think sometimes we forget when we're watching YouTubers or people on the internet. Like, I'm just a real person just like everybody else. And just like you, like I'm sure you have changed in the past year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, however long, any length of time you can find measurable change in anybody. Now, I get it. There are YouTubers and Instagrammers and content creators and blah, blah, blah that hit it big, they make it, and they become completely different people. They lose touch with their audience. They're not relatable or realistic at all anymore. I get it. And once again, that comes down to choices. I know it sounds like I keep putting the ball in your court, but that's where it is. You know, I said it in a point earlier in this video. People are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. Like, I get comments every day about my lips. Let me tell you something. What's not going to happen, I'm not going to read a comment and be like, that's it. That's the last one I needed. I'm dissolving my lip filler. No, I like my lips. I'm keeping them the way they are. And I don't care if you don't like them. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do, just like you are. And that's where we have to take our power back in the beauty community as a whole. We can sit around and bellyache and say we don't like it all day and twice on Sunday. But ultimately, it's up to us. And I say it all the time. We have to curate our interaction with social media in such a way that it serves us and doesn't take from us. And anything or anyone who irritates me or deprives me of happiness for 1 second can just get on out of here. I mean, I said it in the beginning of the year when I announced my no-buy that one of the big steps I was taking was to purge my social media of anyone and anything that sold to me too much. And I did it, and I've been super happy ever since. Like, I love my Instagram now. I'm only seeing things that I love to look at. We all have that power and that control. I just went off on a tangent. I'm sorry. But as far as people changing, the main takeaway that I hope you guys get from this video and from every point that I'm making, not just this one, is that all of this, all of your interaction with social media comes down to 2 key points. And the first one is it's all about choice. It's all about what we choose to do and what we choose to engage in. And it's also about the fact that you don't know us. Like, you don't. Some of you guys that are my followers, I talk to in the DMs, I'm talking to you on Patreon, we're in the live streams, we're in the Facebook group, and I interact with you guys a lot. But you still don't know me. So that's sometimes when people be like, you've changed. I'm just like, you don't know me. Like, you don't know who I was when I started or what my objectives or motives or intentions or wishes or wants or goals or dreams were. So how can you possibly say that? Like, I might change the way I look. I might change the way I talk about things or what I talk about. But here's hoping that that continues to happen, because shit would get so boring. Could you imagine if I know that a lot of people, per my last video that I made, which was talking about stuff that I do want to buy, some people were mad that I dare to discuss that, because I think they're happy with the idea that I would talk about no buys for the rest of my life. I never said it was going to be for the rest of my life. I said it was for 1 year, and it's almost over. This is the natural progression. Like I've learned a lot. Changes have happened and more changes will continue to happen. If when my content shifts or if my message shifts or my message expands or if it changes, whatever, if you're like, nah, man, I don't relate to you anymore. I don't like anything you got to say. I feel like you're on some bullshit and you want to go. Like I release you with light and love because I practice what I preach. Like I don't watch people that I don't like and I don't expect you to watch me if you don't like me anymore either. But I feel like as a whole, our relationship to social media and beauty gurus would vastly improve if we would just block out the stuff we're not into. You know what I'm saying? My final thought on this, I'm not saying any of what I just said to try to gaslight you or make you feel like your opinions and your feelings aren't valid and you should just sit there and shut up and let us do what we want. That's not what I'm trying to say. Understand what I'm trying to say is that I'm a big believer in looking at situations through the lens of what can I do about this? With anyone in your life, anyone in any given situation, you can't do anything about what person A or B is doing. You can only do something about what you're doing, how you're reacting to it, how you're internalizing it. You gotta take the power into your own hands and make choices that work for you. The energy that it takes you to make a decision about what you want to see on your social media feed or who you want to surround yourself or whatever is energy that is far better spent than the energy you're spending tweeting, leaving hateful comments. Like that's ultimately getting you nowhere. That's got to be said. We all know that, right? I want to be in the driver's seat of my life all the time. I don't believe in pointing fingers and blaming others for things. If I don't like something, if I'm not happy with something, if something isn't working for me anymore, I'm just going to move on. I don't see the benefit or the use in trying to minister to people about why they need to do something different. Because if I've said it once in this video, I say it 1,000 times. People gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. And once again, for the last time I will say it, this all comes down to choices and your power and how much you're willing to give to total strangers on the internet. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'm sure, the sky is blue, the grass is green, and someone's gonna tell me I'm being bitchy. I already know it, but I don't care. I don't care. This is what I had to say, and I said it, and I'm happy I said it. I feel better having said it, and I think a lot of people needed to hear it. But anyway, thank you so much to the patrons. As always, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you and everything that you're doing over there with me and for me. It never, ever, ever goes unnoticed. We have live streams coming up on Patreon this weekend, which I'm pretty excited about. I think there's one on Friday and there's one on Sunday. The live streams are absolutely my favorite part of Patreon because I could just sit and talk to y'all all day. It is so much fun. Holiday content is coming. I'm excited about it. If you have any particular things you want to see or any suggestions, let me know. I'm really excited to do some stuff at the end of the year, like New Year's week, like kind of how to reset your life and goal setting and things like that, because I feel like I've learned a lot about that this year and I'd love to share it with you. But anyway, I gotta get out of here. Check down below links to all my social media platforms, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.